Well, good day and welcome once again to Moments with Dr. Steve. I'm Dr. Steve Bonenberger, and we welcome you into our world, and we're grateful that you invite and welcome us into yours. We are gathering people that are of like mind and common spirit. Now, on this day, we're going to talk about the Writer's Covenant. The Writer's Covenant, which is the book I put together on how to write great literature. You can go to stalegius.org, and for a small contribution to the ministry, you can get a copy. And it is a resource tool. It is a viable idea reserve for you. It's a reservoir, let's use that term, that will help you to get information when you need it. And so today we talk about scenes and confronting giants. Real literature has this David versus Goliath kind of tonality baked into its chemical and organic structure. Why? Because people generally feel that it's them against the universe, it's them against the world. And people generally sense larger issues are at play in their life, and somehow those issues overwhelm and squash them, and somehow those larger issues embargo and suffocate their highest and best offerings. Somehow those larger issues are nefarious at best, and then evil and corrupt at their core, and have as their main intent to bring harm to common people. Somehow these larger issues create and generate smoke screens and red herrings that deter and deflect the true intent of the ruling class. Writers, real writers, notice and feel the sense of seeing a large foot about to squish and squash tiny people that is about to trudge along and smash them in a footfall. Real writers feel that. Writers capture emotional cues and grind out language that address what it feels like to be at risk. Scenes, the essence of writing. If you're going to break writing down to essence, it's the creation and management of at least these elements that are baked into the organic structure of literature, scenes and settings. We're going to talk about that a little bit. Characters and developmental arcs, plot lines and mishaps, conflicts and their impact and their resolution. The Writer's Covenant is a resource guide for preachers and writers and novelists and teachers and lyricists and anyone that's involved in the creative process. Head over to stalegius.org, pick up a copy, and keep it handy. You're going to need it. Now let's talk a little bit about scenes. A scene is known by its component parts. Think about if you're going to build a molecule, if you're a scientist. Think about if you're a construction worker, you're going to build a room. Think about if you're a mechanic, how you work on an engine. There are component parts. Scenes are container ships. They're vessels. They register and hold dialogue and action, and they are packed with information. They're visceral and they're visual, and they're hinting, and then they're opaque. That's what scenes are. Scenes have emotional content packed inside of them. That's their purpose. The scene's purpose is to build this emotional layering that the writer, reader, viewer notices, the hearer notices. Scenes are sensorial by nature. They have to touch you. You have to feel something by them. Scenes trigger something. Scenes contain dialogue. As I said, they're laser focused. Every scene that you craft should be a self-contained unit. They're detailed and descriptive, and they identify settings and conditions. Scenes are the tonality of your work. They literally have this flavoring that they add to what you're doing. Scenes include beauties and bounties, and they also have the ability for your characters to be able to, wax eloquent with a soliloquy, or to be able to give an oration or an explanation or expression. Scenes have emotional wattage. We teach you in the Writer's Covenant how to create emotional wattage. You need to know how to do that if you're a writer. Scenes allow your main characters to be identified either through a veiling or through an unveiling. Scenes have the ability to sharpen the entire focus of your work. The Writer's Covenant is designed for you. If you're a writer, a novelist, a teacher, a lyricist, a filmmaker, a documentarian, whatever you are, if you're in the creative arts, you need a copy of this in your library. Go to stalegius.org, and for a small contribution you can pick up to our ministry, you can pick up a copy of the Writer's Covenant. We're building a global cultural conversation. Your voice is needed and welcomed. Till next time, I'm Dr. Steve Bonenberger. This is Moments with Dr. Steve. Travel far.